Kevin O'Connell coach of the year, would you make that bet?
No. I think it's going to go to a team that was worse last year. Like, I think the Vikings were too good last year in order for them to be coach of the year. Like, it's going to go to a Robert Saleh or a Brian Dable for a team that was in absolute shambles last year. Now, there's a lot of how the season finishes, but I think people are going to be like, yeah, look at that Vikings roster. Like, he had people there to be able to make it into a winning football team versus what some of these other coaches have done with teams that for the last half decade or even better part of a decade have been terrible.
I agree. You go 8-9 and you get to 11-6. It's not the biggest jump, but if you're Brian Dable, even if they sort of fade down the stretch and go 500 and they end up with like 11 wins, that is a massive jump. And not only that, but there's already and it's New York, so that's part of it, but there's already the like, Brian Dable's the cool coach who dances after the wins. Is that like, once you get that train going, that is not being stopped. So I would also not make that bet. I think though that the only way it happens is if they get to 12, potentially 13, then you have to say, all right, like if Philadelphia ends up 13-4 and the Vikings end up 12-5, I mean, you've got to put them in there. I mean, but also Nick Sirianni, if they get there, is going to get a lot of attention as well. And it's going to be funny because the Buffalo Bills might win 14 and they won't give him the coach of the year because it's Josh Allen. Yeah.
No chance Sean McDermott's even in the consideration for that.
Which would be unfair because his defense has been incredible since maybe the second year he's been there.
It's like Andy Reid win the AFC West for like the 5th time in a row, and they're like,
let's give it to someone who surprised us. That's always been that award, or in a lot of years, it's been like, wow, we thought you were gonna suck.
Yeah. It's like the congrats on not being terrible.